definitely gotta check that out.
All right, so one thing we'll say before we haven't done this, but it's something new. I do want you to give some tips.
Okay.
The good tips and the ugly. How to deal with the good and the ugly part of entrepreneurship. Like when you took them $500,000 losses, you know, what was the mindset to overcoming it, and then when you gained, how did you sustain?
Okay. Yeah. You mean just answer straight right now?
Yeah, just all you. That's all you. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say, you know, in entrepreneurship, there's ups and downs, ebbs and flows of the business in general. So, for me, like, my attitude wasn't any different when I made millions of dollars or when I lost $500,000. And the reason why is because I understand that in business, everything's not going to go your way. You'll have disagreements. There's things that are out of your control as well.
Thanks.
And so, to the point of like making $1 million, I remember my goal was, as Black Friday was approaching, so many things were going wrong. We were moving warehouses. Our old warehouse had flooded. We lost like $40,000 worth of inventory from overseas. It's not stuff you can just get again. It was cut and sew, like things that we can't make in the States. And I just remember I was like, yo, we about to kill it this year. I like something just told me like, we about to turn up. We end up making $1 million. When we hit that goal, I was hyped. Like the whole, we out tonight. Like we going out, we doing this. And the next day after we had like celebrated, I realized that we had a lot of work to do.
Forgot that part.
We got so many orders to fulfill. And one thing I always suggest to people is when you set goals, especially financial goals, monetary goals, when it comes to e-commerce or anything you're doing, understand that you have to give the amount of effort, the amount of time, the amount of energy, the amount of excellence that it costs to make it worth that money that you made.
Dog. Right? Preach. Come on.
$1 million worth of $1 million of sales. I need to put in over $1 million worth of effort to make sure this is executed. And I think a lot of people too, a reason why our businesses fails, we don't have any systems and processes in place.
Talk about it.
A lot of us, we just I want to start a t-shirt brand, so I'm going to just buy a heat press and I'm going to get some screens and I'm just going to...
And I'm going to put it in the group chat.
And it's like, after your friends and family buy, then what? Because you didn't think of a marketing plan. Yeah. You didn't think of how to get the best shipping rates. You didn't think about how to leverage credit so that you wouldn't be using your own money. You didn't think about drop shipping versus fulfilling yourself. Like, am I exchanging time for money or money for time? Like, which one is it? And so I think for any entrepreneurs, have your systems in place.
Talk about it.
Have systems in place that even you can't mess up.
No, right? Facts, right?
Like a lot of times we have plans that we can override, but that's how you don't have a successful business. Because if I was to go today, can this business still run? That's one of my main. If something happens to me, or if I'm sick, or if I'm out of town, or I can't make it, can this happen without me?
Yeah.
And once I develop
that's
those
a real
systems,
system.
that's a real system. I was watching a show. This is my second time watching it, called Money Heist.
Yeah,
I love that show.
See Money? Oh yeah, so okay, perfect. Yeah. So the professor, when he got caught during the second one, when they were, I think, in the Bank of Spain, he said, whether I die or not, this plan is going to be executed.
Yeah.
So you can kill me, go ahead, but they know what to do. That's how your business should be.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
No matter what happens, if Tokyo got caught, they did this. If so and so got caught, if this got shot, they had a plan for everything.
They had a contingency for everything.
100%. And so
shout out to the professor.
Shout out to the professor.
Because that was some profound shit that I overlooked.
No, literally. Yeah. And the reason why I thought I'll literally watch it before I came here. I was watching. That's my second time watching it, and I was like, man, that's fire. No matter what happens, it'll be okay. I would say for the negatives, I think so many people. This is to anybody who has a brand or want to start a brand. Just because you have a good saying, that doesn't mean it belongs on a t-shirt. That doesn't mean it's a business. So people, somebody will save a dog's life, right? And then they want a company called I Save Dogs, right? And they want to make a t-shirt and sell merch for it. You are personally attached to that because you had that personal experience.
Yeah.
But it's hard to replicate that personal experience to the masses that you want to support your brand.
Over time, too.
So, over time,
how many people have that?
After this little wave after this social post dies down, then what? So I always tell people, don't start brands off of temporary actions and things that are happening, but start brands off of a longing that people needed for a certain thing to be fulfilled.
Yeah.
So Black colleges have been around for years. Yeah. I did not create Black colleges. I wasn't the first person to attend, but I realized that we had an underrepresented community. So all I did was give them a voice through our platform and through clothes. And so that's some advice I would give.
And just simply you fill the void by saying support Black colleges, because it identifies what some people might feel like is a lacking. So it's like
100%.
even
Action.
it could be it's both sides of the spectrum. It's like it's displaying that I support black colleges,
100%.
and then it's also advocating for people to support black colleges. And it's something as simple as being able to acknowledge, like you said, like y'all didn't create the first black college, you ain't go to the first, you wasn't the first black, but at the end of the day, it's black colleges and they need support. I'm throwing this one word in front of it, and this literally
Support black. It's a verb. I always say it's a verb. And my favorite thing about the brand is I'll see somebody in the airport with a hoodie. They don't know who I am. They don't. So I'm like, oh, where'd you get that hoodie from? Oh man, it's this company that they start telling me all about it.
It's got love and line games.
People, yeah, I do. I love when people champion the brand. Because I'm like, if all y'all feel disconnected to the brand, I have to do a lot less when it comes to marketing.
That's a
so
fact.
they're like, yo, I love it. Da, da, da. Man, here's their Instagram. They pulling up the Instagram and everything. I'm like, oh, this is really great. You don't know me.
Yeah.
You have no idea I exist. And so I love that. A brand that can be championed without you having to say anything is a very successful brand.
Absolutely.
No, that's a fact. And the last thing I guess I landed with is just like sustaining through the pandemic, and just even like now, like I feel like clothing brands, they don't survive.
Yeah, they don't.
So what makes support black colleges survive? I got a preconceived idea, but I always like to ask the source.
Yeah, I mean, clothing brands is hard because everybody can start one now. Like everybody can start a podcast too.
Yeah.
That's why so many fail, because it's like, how do I listen to you versus
how do I
be?
Yeah.
It's not that you don't have nothing to say. It's just that like I like the way he speaks a little better, or they got a cute co-host. I think she cute, so I'm gonna watch this one. Like whatever it might be. For us, our audience is one that is always going to be around. There's always going to be incoming freshmen. There's always going to be graduating seniors. There's always going to be alumni who care about the school they went to.
Everything with that alumni,
So it's like we have an audience yeah, as long as we continue to do what we're supposed to do, then the people will always come. I don't have to. I don't do things where I have to create the buzz for it. So like if you ever see us do a pop-up, we'll like rarely do our own. I'll go to homecomings. I'll go to Essence Fest. I'll go to Bruce Picnic. I'll go wherever the people are going to be at that match my audience. I'm not going to try to create something myself. I'm going to utilize somebody else's marketing, somebody else's branding, somebody else's influences that they're already flying out there. And I'll just meet up with them when I get out there. Yeah. So I think that's how we survive. And a lot of people are trying to create their own wave, which is okay. Yeah. But you're going to have to work a lot harder than me. Yeah. I'm focused on the product, the experience. You're focused on trying to get customers. Yeah. I'm going to go where the customers already are.
Oh, that makes perfect sense. I had another question. I was going to take you. It was about the brand, but it's cool because I mean it's informative. So this all information, and I'm gonna go back and look. No, but
this is for me.
But
camera's not rolling.
I do want it for the people because it was a good question. It was like you said something that was great, and I had like the perfect segue question. But I'll just ask you again, and I'll even come back on here if I got to and represent him. Like, yo, when I told you I was gonna ask Corey that question, this was his response. I might even had a nigga do a voice memo. Look, play that joint on the mic. You know what I'm saying? But all in all, man, this was an amazing episode, man, bro. It's super, super duper. When I say humble, I'm not saying it in the sense of like you belittle yourself. Like you just got like inviting energy, inviting spirit.
Appreciate that.
What is it? Give it to me. The word is a C.
Inviting?
No, inviting.
Collaborative?
No, not even collaborative. It's it'll come to me.
Welcoming?
I said welcoming, but I had another word. I was going to go 3 for 3. It's cool. I'm 2 for 3. Better. But all in all though, like that. That's what Black is crazy.
I think it started with C.
I said C, nigga. Did you not hear me?
College?
Yeah, no. But basically, it was just like it's all in alignment with welcoming and inviting and all that stuff. But the fact of the matter is, I appreciate that. So when I say humble, it's not really like you belittle yourself. No, it's like you know who you is, but at the same time, like because you know who you is, you're not leading with who you are, and you make everybody feel like inclusive. It's our word. It's inclusive. It's inclusive.
I mean, bro, I don't had nothing. I had a lot. Yeah. So it's like, if you show yourself to be a certain way when you have a lot, when you do fail, because it will happen eventually. Yeah, you gonna really like have to say a lot of sorries, and
you won't deserve the grace too.
You won't deserve it.
The grace we all.
Like,
you shit it on your way up. That shit.
At the end of the day, bro, we all trying to get it. Y'all trying to have a podcast that's successful. Yeah, I'm trying to have a business that's successful. We all trying to connect and network. Like. Yeah. I don't know how to be no other way. Like, you know what I'm saying?
For me, it's more so about how you treat other people, though. It's because I could be, I don't look at myself in a relationship. It's like, I'm talking about like the regular everyday interactions with people. Like, I see that. Like, because like we all got platforms, we all got shit going on. So a motherfucker could just walk around and feel like I'm him. Like, but it's like, And I'm
Yeah.
not like that, but anybody could be. And then
Nah,
you know,
facts.
you know
People
we
do be like
react.
that.
So,
Yeah.
in effect, I see how you treat every person you come into contact with. That's why I said, like, that's what made me even say, like, no, I want to bring this dude on the pod. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? I want, if my audience didn't know him, I want them to know him. You know what I mean?
appreciate that.
For
I
sure,
appreciate
because we support black colleges. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you do.
Still a businessman. But
I want 10% of Howard.
definitely we're gonna discuss percentages afterwards.
yeah.
He wore the sweatshirt on the pod without telling us. Like, no,
I always wear my merch, bro. I always wear where I can't wear my merch.
no, that's
Every
an even
time,
choice.
bro.
What's the Philly hat? What the Philly hat?
Come on,
Nah,
now.
guys are
Bro,
good.
this ball's good,
Shout out
bro.
to my young bulls.
This
out there
ball's
in
good.
Philly.
You hear me?
Yeah, some